welcome to Rev Sports. I'm Gargi Raut, and joining me today for this show is Shamik Chakrabarti, Vaibhav Tripathi, and Rohit Juglan will join us very soon as well. Today we are talking about the ODI series against New Zealand that is coming up. It will start on January 11th, if I am not getting the date wrong, and only a few days away. But what kind of combination will we see when it comes to the squad? Will Hardik Pandya be rested ahead of the very important T20 World Cup? Is the question that we're asking today. I'll start with you, Shomik. At this point, what are your sources saying? What have you been hearing so far? Is Hardik Pandya, can we say that he will be rested? That it's almost done now?
All but done, you can say. All but done, because the fact of the matter is that before the T20 World Cup, you have to handle him with care. I'm not talking about Jasprit Bumrah here because Jasprit Bumrah hasn't played an ODI for 2 years now. His last ODI was 2023 World Cup final. And before, and given that his workload management, everything, see, in this team, in this Indian team, there are two players who are irreplaceable. You have alternatives for every other position. For suppose, for example, fingers crossed, if something happens to Abhishek Sharma, you can bring in Yashasvi Jaiswal. If there is something with Sanju Samson, you can bring in Ishan Kishan. So for every other position, you have a replacement. And I mean, Indian cricket revels in the embarrassment of riches. But these are the two players. Jasprit Bumrah is priceless. Jasprit Bumrah, and there is no question of him playing this three-match inconsequential ODI series because besides the Roko mania, and obviously Shubman Gill will return to lead the side. Shreya Shaiyer is expected to make a comeback. Ishan Kishan is expected to be there, and Rishabh Pant is on a slippery slope. These are the things we have reported. So, but Hardik Pandya, if by any chance he picks up an injury and if he breaks down again and given his injury record, then India's T20 World Cup is gone because you don't have a replacement for him. Because I selectors are thinking along the lines of that. They are unlikely to take a risk with Hardik. Hardik is likely to play a couple of Vijay Hazare Trophy matches for Baroda in January. That would be in accordance with the BCCI's directive that all the centrally contracted players will have to take part in domestic cricket. Only Bumrah, and Bumrah being because he is Bumrah and his workload management is the issue. He is the Kohinoor. He has been exempted. Bumrah had a practice session with the Gujarat team yesterday in Ahmedabad. He had a practice session yesterday. He turned up to train with the Gujarat team. But Hardik will play. But that is in sync with the BCCI's directive. But apart from that, why do you risk one of your most valuable players in an inconsequential series? He will play the T20s. And as we have seen, the latest setback for him came at the Asia Cup, Gargi, and you were there, that he broke down and India barely managed to get over the line in the final. We know what happened at the 2023 World Cup. Once he broke down, his replacement Mohammad Shami did brilliantly, but India badly missed him in the final when KL Rahul got stuck. India badly missed Hardik in the final. So
100%.
everything taken into account, selectors are thinking along that lines that Hardik very likely will be rested for the three-match ODI series.
I mean, Weber, when we look back on the Asia Cup, it wasn't even how many games did Hardik Pandya even play before he broke down? So that's the question, right? You have to wrap him in cotton wool at this point. And India, and this is still, an unsettled 11 when it comes to the T20 side as well, because Surya Kumar Yadav is not in form. We've seen that Shubman Gill has now been dropped. So this is still pretty much, a series that will be important for India when we talk about the T20 side. But no Hardik Pandya in the ODI series. Do you think that's the correct call at this point?
Definitely. I mean, I completely agree with Shamikda that at present you have two of your most important players, that is Jasprit Bumrah and Hardik Pandya. So you have to be cautious with them, with how you are managing their workload, as far as, because the T20 World Cup is on the horizon, and you are going to play matches. You are going to play 5 T20Is against New Zealand at home. So even if there are question marks about his fitness or his form, although he has played Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy for Baroda after recovering from injury, but even if you want to test him at international level, at how his body is behaving, you have 5 T20Is. Just to get that rhythm back, whether it's bowling or batting. So I think Hardik Pandya to be rested for the ODI series, I think that's a correct call. Given that what is at stake right now, World Cup is on the horizon, then you have a 5 match T20I series, so you don't want to risk your injury prone players, which are Jasprit Bumrah and Hardik Pandya. You don't want to risk them at this point, given that World Cup is next month. We saw what happened with Jasprit Bumrah last year around this time only, when he came back from Australia. Then he was injured. Obviously, he was not available for the Sydney Test, and then he went back home. Then there were chirps of him being included for the Champions Trophy, but there again, because IPL was also there, so Indian team management opted not to risk him, and Indian team went without Jasprit Bumrah, and they did well. There were a lot of questions whether this team will be able to win without Jasprit Bumrah or not. It's a big tournament, again a major ICC tournament, but we did well. So without Jasprit Bumrah also we have done well in the past, but again, that doesn't mean that Jasprit Bumrah is any less. Jasprit Bumrah still remains the most valuable commodity for Indian team across formats, and same is with Hardik Pandya. You don't have backups as of now. Even if you talk about ODI cricket, you don't have a backup. Nitish Kumar Reddy, he's still very young and still very raw. I think he still has to prove himself at a domestic level before getting recalled to the national team again, because he hasn't done anything apart from that century in Australia. So you have to, obviously you need to have backups for Hardik Pandya, but at the moment you don't have backups as well, whether it's Nitish Kumar Reddy or Shivam Dube. I'm not even taking the name of Vijay Shankar, because he hasn't done anything to be considered of being of selection. So I think at this point, Hardik Pandya being rested for the ODI series makes a lot of sense.
Vaibhav Taragir is saying, I beg to differ. Injuries are inevitable. This is not an inconsequential. He's talking about the ODI series, Vaibhav. The ODI series is inconsequential. 2027 is where the World Cup is happening. So, no point in risking Hardik Pandya at this point. But the other question that I wanted to take here is Vaibhav Taragi's question again. Why is Pandya being treated so special? He already missed 2 ODI series back to back due to injuries. Is Pandya not comfortable playing ODIs format like test as well? Shamik?
Hardik Pandya has been treated I mean, he is getting special treatment because he is a special player. Because you don't have a replacement for Hardik Pandya. Simple. The fact of the matter is that, and you never know when he will break down. I sort of maintain that he has a glass body. You never know. Everything is going fine, and suddenly he will pick up a niggle or something, an ankle injury or a quadriceps injury or whatever it is, and he will break down. And I'm not blaming him for that. I rather sympathize with him in this regard, because he has been very unlucky with his injuries. So from that point of view, Hardik Pandya is irreplaceable. If Hardik Pandya is not available for that, if Hardik Pandya breaks down before the T20 World Cup, India's T20 World Cup is all but gone. And mind, India have been winning everything at this moment in time as far as bilateral T20 is concerned, but they would be under massive pressure at the T20 World Cup. First of all, this is the home World Cup, number one, and anything less than qualifying for the final would be considered a failure. And as per my sources, the message has been clearly communicated to Gautam Gambhir, the head coach, that anything less than reaching the final is not acceptable. After the final, if you lose the final, that is bad luck. Or I mean, you have reached the final. It's an achievement. Reaching the final, even if you lose the final, reaching the final is an achievement, because you are a top team, and only because you are a top team you have reached the final. But anything less than final will not be acceptable. So the message has been communicated as far as my sources are concerned, and this is a massive, massive World Cup, because India would be under serious pressure. Uh, irrespective of their current performance or current form in bilateral T20Is. And high pressure thing. It's a matter of one day. Reaching the knockouts won't be a problem, but especially the semi-final, that one day. So everything taken into account, Hardik Pandya, India cannot afford to lose Hardik Pandya before the World Cup. And given his injury record, that is why he is being treated with special care because of his previous injury record. Just one more thing. Today I read somewhere that someone has urged Hardik Pandya to make a test comeback. I mean, just bogus. This guy struggles to take the load of ODI cricket even. Continuous ODI cricket even, given that his injury record, and you are asking him to return to the test format. It is not absolutely possible.
Vaibhav, at this point, I want to ask if there's no Hardik Pandya, obviously Bumrah will also not be there. What does your bowling attack look like? Because I think something similar, Prasidh Krishna, Harshit Rana, Arshdeep, is that what you will go with again?
So you can even consider a Mohammad Siraj, whom you picked for the Australia series, and he played in the Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy as well for Hyderabad. So you can definitely consider recalling him because he's definitely not in that squad, a World Cup squad. So obviously, if you are picking a different side, not your full strength side for the ODI series, I think Mohammad Siraj is someone you should consider because you should. Everyone should be mindful of the fact that he's still your highest wicket taker post 2022. Obviously, he was dropped from the Champions Trophy squad last year, but again, even he has picked more wickets than Jasprit Bumrah in this format. So I don't see why. Rohit made a point about his death bowling that he has to work something with his old ball skills, but I think he has worked a lot, and he went to the domestic cricket, he played domestic cricket, and I think he has worked on it. So if Jasprit Bumrah is not there, or Mohammad Siraj automatically becomes that leader of the pace attack, and he should be recalled, given that you cannot play, you shouldn't be playing Arshdeep Singh as well all the matches in the ODI series, even if you are picking him, because then you have a 5-match T20I series, and he's one of your frontline seamers as far as the World Cup is concerned. So I think you should, selectors should consider Mohammad Siraj in their plans for the one-day series.
All right, there are a lot of questions here actually. Fitmonk is asking, Shomik sir, is bang on Pandya ko bachao tabhi World Cup bachega? Still feel if he was playing 2023 World Cup final that he would have been third, then we would have been third-time champions. He is a clutch beast.
Absolutely, Gargi. I mean, I also feel like that, but that is water under the bridge now. But during that phase when KL Rahul got stuck, and even Virat Kohli struggled to hit boundaries, and Australia's bowling plan, and Hardik is something who can manufacture his shots, and he has the gift of timing, everything. What Hardik can do in this format, very few can do. You saw the Kotak game after coming back from such an from a longish injury layoff. He played at Cuttack, scored 59 not out. India was struggling. India was struggling. India's top order. South Africa had rattled India's top order. But the way 36 ball, 59, I guess, and the way he played, he never looked undercooked. And he was coming back from a longish injury layoff. So he is a complete natural. He is an incredibly talented player as far as white ball cricket is concerned. And Hardik Pandya, you have to handle. I just keep repeating this. You have to handle him with care. You have to ensure that he lasts the distance, which is the T20 World Cup.
Absolutely. Okay. More questions here. Satvik Bagaria is saying, and I don't like. This is a very passive aggressive comment from Satvik. But let's see. Monty Panesar has given a statement that Gill is not an all format player. He says that Gill does not do mehnat like Kohli and sometimes plays lazy shots. Your views, Weber?
See, the ones who have seen him practicing in England, the ones who have seen him practicing in England, Asia Cup, we have two people who have seen who have seen them from close quarter. I also have seen him practicing in the Champions Trophy as well. So we all know his work ethic, and enough has been talked about. Shubman Gill and his work ethic. You can talk about his T20I form, but if you look at his record in Test cricket this year, then you look at his overall ODI record. I don't think obviously everyone is entitled to have an opinion. Monty Panesar can say whatever he wants, but I don't think it is right to do make statement like this कि कोई मेहनत नहीं करता भाई. Every whoever is playing for India, they are very well committed to their skills, and they put in a lot of hard work behind the scenes, which you obviously you cannot see. Everyone is not allowed to see the practice, तो आपको नहीं पता ना पीछे क्या चल रहा है. So I don't think whatever other players say, former players say, that is fine, but for the Indians to say कि वो player मेहनत नहीं करता है, विराट कोहली जैसा नहीं है यार. Rohit Bhaiya also, and he will tell you how much of work that Gill does. I remember one instance from the Champions Trophy when there was no practice scheduled, and then we got the information that there is one player who is practicing at the ICC academy, and that is Shubman Gill, and that is just before the knockout. So that tells you about player that he wants to work on his skill, and Shubman Gill's work ethic is second to none. I would say that. So if somebody is making this statement, I am completely in disagreement with this.
Yes, yes, Shomik.
Gargi, just my 2 cents here. Who is Monty Panesar? If it were coming from Graham Swan, if it were coming from Kevin Peterson, if it were coming from Jimmy Anderson or Joe Root, I would have taken that on board. But who is Monty Panesar to comment on Shubman Gill? This is just my 2 cents here.
And Rohit is privy to this and has seen it. We have all seen how hard Shubman Gill works. We have seen him in England, even on match day -2, he will show up and do his net sessions. He will do his sprints. He will do his laps around the stadium. He has a very, very particular training session that he does, and we have all seen that he does not miss out on practice sessions at all. So Rohit, when Monty Panesar says that he's lazy, I don't think that that applies to Shubman Gill at all. I think he's one of the hardest workers in the team. Yes, form can go up and down. Yes, runs can go up and down, but you cannot discredit when someone is working really, really hard. And we have seen it for over a year now. We've been following this team for a while. And even when Shubman Gill was named the captain, a lot of people, can get complacent, but Shubman Gill only started working harder is something I can say that I have seen with my own eyes. But Rohit, at this point, are you getting any news on what Hardik Pandya's situation is? Will he or will he not participate in the ODI series for some game time, or do you think it's done and dusted that he will be rested ahead of the World Cup?
No, there's nothing as far as Hardik Pandya is concerned. With it's all up to what the team management is thinking at this point of time. Yes, he has been given ample amount of rest. I told this earlier also that Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy, he was supposed to play 3 games, but he only played 1. Sorry about this ointment. I think it's very visible in the screen at this point of time, but there is certain, a cut is there, and that's why you can see that, blue part in that somewhere around my beard. So sorry about that. But apart from that, what I can tell at this point of time is that, if you talk about, that rehab, which has been, I think more than a month, he close to more than a month spent at the Center of Excellence, and they're, used to multiple drills. After that, he was very, certain about playing Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy game. I remember that, Boriada telling us this, that he's in really great shape at this point of time, and he will be there in the Hyderabad game. And I remember that we broke this story also. And after that, the main thing was that how much bowling he was doing in the given series, and he did bowl a lot. If you remember and at the very last game of the series, Shukri Conrad said in the post-match press conference that for him it will be Hardik Pandya who will get the man of the series from here. And yes, Varun Chakravarti got the man of the series. So if you see the work ethic as far as Hardik Pandya having in last means 1 month or so, and after that the way he is bowling and batting, I don't think that there is a need. But we all know, Gargi, that how the Indian batting coach told us, Sutanshu Kotak told us in Oval, that they have each and every data of every player, that how and when one has to be given rest from the management side. So I think it's very evident, it's very clear that yes, if you see past last 1 month, you will definitely see Hardik Pandya not played a lot of games. He hasn't, there was nothing as far as his workload management is concerned. But first thing, it's very it's very not official. Any kind of data is not out where we can, after seeing that, we can say, oh, Hardik Pandya need a rest, give him the rest. From last 1 month, the amount of cricket he has played, that tells us that yes, he can play. But I think at this point of time, if you ask about my point of view, I don't think that there's any kind of doubt that Hardik Pandya will rest in this New Zealand series, Karki.
Shomik, we'll take a final comment from you and then close the show. Indian supporter here is saying Pat Cummins has left 2 remaining matches of Ashes, which are a part of the WTC, for the T20 World Cup. Oh, what he's trying to say is ahead of the T20 World Cup, 2 Ashes matches are remaining. We want Ferraris like Bumrah and Hardik on every damn puddly roads of inconsequential ODIs. What does this mean?
No, what he's made. I think he is talking about Jasprit Bumrah. Jasprit Bumrah is not playing ODIs. He hasn't played an ODI for 2 years. His last ODI was the 2023 World Cup final. He is not even in the ODI scheme of things, and he will not be in the ODI scheme of things before next season. Come next season, when Indian team will start planning about the 2027 World Cup, then you will see the focus is shifting. First, the thing is that I think the World Test Championship final is all but gone. 9 matches left. India will have to win 7, but still they will try to have a big push. I don't know how it is possible with this group of players, but I'm not ruling out Virat Kohli's comeback at this moment in time. It might sound a little wild, a little preposterous, but as far as I am concerned, and I haven't spoken to anybody. This is a reporter's hunch that come August, if I see, I'm not saying that Virat Kohli will come back to I'm not definitely saying that Virat Kohli will come back to the Test board, but come August, if I see Virat Kohli is going to Sri Lanka for the Test series, I will not be surprised. This much I can say. So that is the thing. A lot of things will change. The priority would be the Test match first, and then the focus will gradually shift to 50 over cricket with the 2027 World Cup, with an eye on the 2027 World Cup. So from that point of view, at this moment in time, Bumrah is not playing the ODIs. So there is no question of talking about the Bumrah or brooding over why he is not playing the ODIs.
On that note, we will take your leave. We'll have to wait and watch to see what happens, what combination India goes with. Will they go in for the similar ODI squad that was there for the South Africa World Cup, which is the most likely scenario to happen. But thank you, Shomik, Rohit, and Weber for joining. We'll be back at 5, where Boria will go live and take questions and have a Q&A with you guys. So don't forget to join us there.